power of sci-fi radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
I gotta tell you, I am still completely stumped for how my Facebook page will not show our
It's still
show.
not doing it. Aw.
It's still not doing it. I spent a good part of the week trying to solve that problem and completely failed.
Heck, man.
Boo. Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
This is another Thursday night, which means Docking Bay 94. I am Shawn Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is Jeff Solo Donoho.
I'm calling Kaylee Crosby.
And you are either listening to us over on sci-fi.radio, sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. That's the URL, by the way, sci-fi.radio. Just type it in, go check it out. Or you could be watching us on Facebook somewhere, or on Twitch, or on YouTube. All sorts of places to check us out. So there you go. All right, I got the chat open.
All right. Hey, Don. Don is sanding the dome.
Yay.
Yeah, Don's building an R2. He's 3D printing it. And
Either that or he was sanding his own head.
right. No, that would take the hair right off.
Right.
You're kind of crazy.
We've also got Chris, Talonthorn, and the Lady A 1066.
Hey, we're all right.
Welcome to all of you.
Woohoo! And here we are. Oh, how has everybody's weeks been?
Oh, you know, working.
Crazy.
Oh, working's good.
You know, I don't really have a lot to think of.
Well, did we mention?
Oh, we did have one thing. Yeah.
Well, what'd you have?
So let's see here. Yeah, 19th. Yeah. Okay. So on this past week, on the 13th, that is, in the evening, went over to Rosie and David's place and had a little Valentine's party.
Yeah.
Oh, how fun.
That's fun. Did you like
That was
decorate cookies or something?
Yeah.
Or
That, I think there was just some designing stuff cookie designing or something. I don't know if I didn't do that, but there's pizza and and Valentine's and cards and stuff, and just being with family.
all right.
Yeah.
Colleen
Sounds
and I
good.
didn't do much for Valentine's Day.
Oh, for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did nothing.
Yeah, we did decorate some cookies that Colleen got as part of a bulk buy of old food.
I'm going to say hi to Vicky, Lori, and Alan, and then I'm going to explain what Shawn just said. There's an app,
Pardon me.
and I'm going to tell you guys what it is called, Too Good to Go. And basically, you put in your address when you get the app, and then it will give you restaurants and stores that are near you that would like to sell their products at a reduced price because they're going to have to throw them away, So he's right. It is old food. But you basically, I got 2 of them from Whole Foods last week. Because last week was Valentine's Day, right?
Right.
I got one that was a prepared foods bag, and they gave us 6 deviled eggs, a meal for 2 that was Indian food, rice and meatballs and sauce, and a sandwich, and I feel like there was one more thing, but I can't remember what it was. And and everything was fine except we waited too long to eat the deviled eggs and had to throw away the last couple of them.
They were a little weird. They were only
were.
6.
Yeah.
They were a little funky.
Yeah. And hey, Kelly, only took her a few minutes to find us.
Well, that's because it's not on my page for whatever
Yeah.
reason. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And then the other one I got was a
page?
bakery bag, and in the bakery bag I had a loaf of bread that was like baked on site, cranberry walnut loaf was really good, and a box of heart-shaped shortbread cookies that were like with sprinkles on them. That the label was kind of half torn off, and then a package of a cookie decorating kit that was heart-shaped shortbread cookies with a packet of 2 packets of frosting and some glitter and sprinkles and stuff.
Lots of sprinkles and
Yeah.
jimmies and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, the only thing, the bread package was $6.99. The prepared food was $9.99. So it was a pretty good value if you are okay with taking things as they're starting to age out, and managing what you can eat at what time. So it was pretty good. And I would say that in the bakery bag, the least interesting thing was the cookie decorating kit. Because the frosting was, I think pre-purchased frosting is kind of gross. And
This was not good tasting frosting.
yeah,
It was sweet and tasted a little, slightly like old milk. It had a weird taste to it. So it was not ideal.
yeah. So anyway, but it's a good deal. You guys should check it out. Some of the places that I've gone, because I've actually only gone to one other place to get food, and that was there was like a coffee shop, and after I went there, I was like, well, this is just not a good value to me at all, because the distance I had to drive to get to the coffee shop, combined with the fact that I got like, a couple of croissants and other sweet things that like there was too much sweet in it. It didn't seem like a good value. And the only other place that I found interesting that's local is there's a fish restaurant. And I'm like, do I want fish leftovers? I don't think so.
Old fish.
So, but check it out, because
go figure.
it might be something that's in your neighborhood and something that you're interested in. And, it's better than the food getting wasted.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Cool.
But that was, in fact, the
Awesome.
only thing we did for Valentine's Day, as we were still trying to recover from jet lag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely still wiped out from that. And like nobody's suggestions have been particularly helpful. It's like we've tried getting a bunch of rest. We've tried changing our sleep patterns. We've tried drinking lots of water. We've tried like all this stuff, and nothing's working.
So about the Too Good to Go, Talonthorn says that their kid manages a coffee shop that sells pastries at the end of the day like that, and also that Talonthorn has gotten bagels and donuts through that site. And Chris does not recommend
Thanks.
day old sushi.
No, it's kind of up there with gas station sushi.
Well, that's actually what he said. Day old
Gasoline.
sushi at the gas station.
Oh yeah, I know it's
Yeah.
not good.
Really,
I mean,
gasoline sushi sounds worse.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we got that going. Did we mention on the show? I don't know if this had happened yet. That Gamera's tank leaked.
it had not happened yet, because that happened on Tuesday.
Yeah. So
yeah, you told me the
Monday.
other day about that.
yeah. So of course Colleen and I went away, and we were gone for 3 weeks, and we had somebody taking care of the turtle, and everything seemed fine. And last week we started smelling this weird kind of chemical smell. Like I thought she was working on some sort of project. Colleen thought I was doing something weird, and but we never really got a chance to mention it to each other. And so there was this Ghostbusters dinner on Monday, and I think it was Monday.
It was.
Drove out there to do that, and I was talking with Andy, and Andy wants to make a Hut Slayer Leia costume. Well, I've got lots and lots of research on that. So I came home, started digging through my Star Wars books, and went over to get one underneath where Gamera's tank was to discover that the platform that we had Gamera's tank mounted on was swollen due to
Oh.
absorbed water. Now, it wasn't a massive leak in the tank. It was really slow. And the tank level of water was only down like 1.5 inches, which is kind of normal for a gam. It evaporates over time.
It was, I had actually just filled it up. It was lower earlier that day.
Okay. So it was really kind of strange. And I put my hand on the thing, and the wood skin of this IKEA block had separated. Everything was swollen, and what we were smelling was like the particle board glue that had gotten wet.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, let's go. I guess we need to fix all this. We need to get a new tank. We need to get a new base, and so we started working towards this. We cleaned out the filter. Cleaned out Gam's tank, took it outside. Gamera's been running around, free range turtle in the house. And so we thought, well, okay, we know where to get the tank. And we went to go look at a tank on Tuesday because we're like, let's get this done right away. And the pet store wasn't a help. And so before we had this tank, our last tank died 3 years ago. So this tank's only 3 years old. And the last one had like 5/8 inch glass or something on it. It was so thick and heavy, it was nuts. But that sprung a leak too, because it's all about the silicone sealing on the thing and how well it's sealed.
Yeah.
So anyway, the tanks were too big, too heavy, too weird. We think we found one that's a reasonable size, but we're not going to be able to get it till tomorrow. And then we like jumped in the car, and Colleen drove like a madwoman through the rain to get us to IKEA, because we went to the biggest IKEA. Is it the biggest IKEA in the country, or is there a bigger one now?
I think it's the biggest
I don't know.
At one point, it was the biggest IKEA in the country, which is located in Burbank, beautiful downtown Burbank. And so we slide into the cafe.
It's the largest IKEA in North America.
In North America, there we go. That's pretty much what I
wow.
figured. So we slide into the cafe just in time to get food. It's going to close in like 3 minutes, and we just made it.
Okay.
So we eat dinner, and then when we're done with dinner, we start to walk around IKEA. Well, we knew we weren't probably going to find the exact same thing we had, although you never know. They've had Billy bookcases forever.
Yeah.
But we can't find anything like it at all. Because what we have are basically like 3 little nightstands put together, and they have one shelf in there, and they can take some books, and they're 16 inches deep or something. And they were good for what we were doing. And they were reasonably inexpensive. Couldn't find them. And we looked everywhere at all this different stuff, and like whatever is going on with IKEA, they're either hit hard with tariffs and they're not able to get what they usually get, or they are changing their product line to appeal to someone who isn't us. Whatever's going on.
They seemed to be down to, normally they'd have all these different systems. They have like a name for the systems. They had like 3. They were all over the place. Like these 3 shelving units were everywhere, all over, in different configurations. So like you didn't even realize that they were the same 3 at first.
Right.
But when you went and looked at the name, you're like, oh, it's the same one again.
Right.
Yeah.
And it took us forever to actually find something like Billy, and they had a really limited supply of them, of like one style in one room, which was really bizarre. Anyway, it was one of the weirder IKEA shopping experiences we've had, and we've been to that IKEA a number of times, and we like IKEA on the whole, but we kind of came out of there feeling let down.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't find anything that was really usable. I think we settled on something,
And
which
we were full of meatballs.
haven't
too.
bought. Right? We were happy shoppers.
Yeah.
We were ready to spend some money, man. And
Chopped up on meatballs. Man.
it was,
But then by the time we finally made our decision about which of the 3 would work, actually there was only one that would work of the 3.
there's only one.
And we decided that we were going to buy it. The store was technically closed.
Yes.
And so we couldn't have taken enough time to calmly purchase it. It would have been just like so stressful.
And
that we're like, nope, we're putting it
I
off.
felt like we needed to sleep on it just in case.
Yeah, that's true.
And
too.
one of the benefits
Okay.
of doing that is I think the thing that we did settle on, we actually have one here at home.
Yeah.
And we could look at it, we could measure it, we could make sure that it was going to be okay. But, you know, we have to make sure that we get the same exact tank we had because the other tanks get taller and it gets complicated. And so I think tomorrow we'll go and we'll buy all this stuff and we'll bring it home and we'll put it together. And
Or Saturday.
Or Saturday.
One of those two.
whatever. Colleen's got Gamera well taken care of, so it's not that big a deal. But anyway, IKEA just let us down. I'm really disappointed because I really like IKEA a lot. And in fact,
But I do get the feeling that the tariffs have messed with IKEA's ability to provide us with lots of cool stuff.
right.
You never know.
Well, and Budala was talking about the salt and pepper shakers. I think they mentioned it on Discord during my show this morning too, which looked pretty great. And that they're 20 years old, and that's the problem. Like the things that we had Gam's tank on, we bought when we moved into this house in like 2001. And so finding the same thing is really hard. You know, I don't expect them to have it, but I expect them to have something in the same category.
Yeah.
Because it's a very basic category, which is a small nightstand-like bookshelf. And
Yeah.
that seems like a perennial category to me.
Well, IKEA's been hit with tariffs that are about 30% up on furniture and 50% on cabinets.
Damn.
Wow, that's gonna suck.
That's rough.
We didn't even look at the
That
prices.
might be why.
We were,
Yeah.
yeah.
I did notice that some of the things we were looking at, if you join the IKEA family program thing, that's like their loyalty program, they track all your purchases. And so I was able to go back, look at the other things we bought, and see. So I know what the price is the last time we bought one of those, and we'll be able to see how much it's gone up if we buy the same exact thing that we bought last time, which is what looks likely now. But anyway, it's we're really lucky that it wasn't a massive leak.
And we're really lucky it didn't happen while we were on vacation.
Right,
That
and
would have
that
been-
our turtle sitter didn't
awful.
have to deal with it. That would have
Yeah.
been terrible.
Yeah.
And of course we've been dealing with the turtle so much we haven't even given our little presents to our turtle sitter,
Yeah.
My goodness.
who is the little girl next door. Came in with her mom and did it. Was super sweet. Anyway, so that was like the big excitement this week was like trying to handle that, and then so Monday was dinner, Tuesday was turtle tank, Wednesday was Six.
Yeah, we went to go see Six. It was really good.
So
good.
Picture this is Colleen will have a completely different take on it, but I'll give you mine. Picture a Britney Spears era kind of Taylor Swifty pop concert about history. So each of the pop stars is a historical figure, and infuse it with a generous helping of like anime K-pop Demon Hunter.
So you have used some of the same words that I would to describe it, but I do have a very different description.
Well, and I have to tell you, so I went in there as a guy and went, this was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I am not a woman. Because every woman in that audience, up to and including Colleen, I think, had an absolute blast and had a completely different experience that I had.
The whole time I was thinking, why am I not here with a big group of girlfriends? My description of it would be the 6 wives of Henry VIII are all transported in time to the current era. They dress up like characters from K-pop Demon Hunters, but reflecting the outfits that they wore. So, like, if you've ever seen an image of any of the wives of Henry VIII,
right, like Anne Boleyn's famous portrait.
Yeah, they based their outfit on that, but it's a mini skirt and like motorcycle boots and
It's half
pink hair
armor
and crop
it's
top.
reflective
Okay.
and
And
glittery.
it's all metallic
Is it?
and with rhinestones
Yeah.
on everything, and everybody's
Okay.
wearing jewels, and they've got like the two buns like Kaylee has, and
There's a little Sailor Moon
Okay.
going on.
Yeah.
There's like all of this.
and each of them takes turns. It's not a play it's not a play, it's more of a concert.
Yes.
And each of the characters takes turns. They're having a singing battle about
Yeah.
who had it worse being married to,
Oh.
to Henry VIII. And so they each sing a song or two about what their life was like and what happened to them. It was
and it's
really,
a
really
competition
Okay.
to see whose life was worse,
good. Yeah.
which was really funny. Here's an image up here for you if you're watching us, and honestly,
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, yeah.
this is tame. The stuff that we saw was better. Their costumes were better than this.
Their costumes were way blingier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's really funny. Let me see if I can find an even better picture, because that's interesting. But they're sedate.
It's roughly like you can see how it's the same basics, but they have way not enough rhinestones on them
Yeah.
Yeah.
in that photo.
Okay.
So I'm planning on trying to get all of my girlfriends to go with me to go see it the next time it comes out, because it was
Okay.
just really fun.
Yeah. I mean, if you have the opportunity to see it, I definitely would. This looks like our cast. We had a great cast, and there were no understudies. We had the whole gang from the main cast, which was good. Okay, here we go. So these are the dresses, and so one of the things I noticed, the difference between the other picture we showed you and this one, there are more rigid parts in the costumes that we saw.
Yes.
And you can see that here. It's much more suit of armor like.
Oh yeah,
which
that green one is
Ah.
correct.
I've had
yeah,
Yeah.
which I really appreciate. This is the cast that we saw last night, and it was
It's still not showing you exactly how many rhinestones were on this.
right. It's because they're not getting hit with the big lights.
Yeah.
Because they were
Oh.
blinding. They were absolutely blinding. But yeah, it was really kind of fun. And you can't see the second girl from the right has the full on K-pop Demon Hunter pink ponytail thing happening and whatnot.
Gotcha.
And they're very anime. It's which was really fun. Anyway, it was really great. The songs were terrific, and Colleen and I noticed something we hadn't noticed in previous performances, which there was a subtitle block over on the left side of the theater that because we very frequently have difficulty hearing in this theater. I don't know if it's the acoustics of the theater or the sound mix, although I'll say last night was probably about a 90%. I think we heard about 90% of what was going on. Sometimes we have a 75% where it's really hard to hear people and what's going on. But I think since they mixed
not
it like a concert and there was a live band on stage, I think we fared better. There was one song that I really had trouble hearing, and out of like the six of them. But
Okay.
but so whenever we were like, what did she say? If you look over fast enough on the left, there was a three-line digital closed captioning thing that you could pick up that line and go, oh, that's what she said, which was great.
Oh.
And
okay.
so that was just
Cool.
sort of a neat bonus. We'd never seen that in any of the other shows that we'd been there before, and I don't know if it's particular to this show, if they just like put it up as they travel. And one of the things we noticed last night too is that these shows only come to town for 3 weeks, and they're gone. So this one's here for 3
Weird.
weeks. Beetlejuice is here for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Anyway, we really enjoyed ourselves. It was mercifully short. So
Yeah, it was. We were out by 9:15.
Yeah.
It was great.
one of the shows I really wanted to see was a show called Stereophonic. And that was like a me show. That was a Shawn show. And I knew Colleen was going to be too thrilled about it. But the problem is that as much as I enjoyed it, it just went on too long. It was like 3 hours or something. It was really, brutal.
Long.
Really, really terrible.
I feel like there were 2 intermissions.
It's something. It was just awful. And going to this one, I knew this one was going to be a Colleen show. And since it was a concert and there was no intermission, it ran 80 minutes and we were out. And they made fun of it too in the middle of the show. And they're like, we only have 5 minutes left. And it's like, which was really kind of fun.
Well, it wasn't the middle of the show. It was towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It was really good. And we went to there's a hamburger place directly across the theater that Shawn found, across the street from the theater that Shawn found, that has a salad. Like, it's still the same hamburgers and chicken fingers, but they at least serve the chicken fingers on a salad.
Yeah.
So I was delighted to be able to have a vegetable.
It's about a stone's throw from Shake Shack, and it is not unlike Shake Shack, but they had a wider menu, which was good. Colleen ended up with a salad. She bought a cookie on the way out the door. It was, Shake Shack's okay. But this was, at least we broke it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And
I would like to go to this place again.
Nice.
Yeah.
It would be good.
So. Anyway, so the next time this comes to town, or when it goes to the Segerstrom or something in Orange County or whatever, Colleen's probably gonna round up the girls and go.
Yes. I'll have to see where else it's playing.
Right, because strangely, the women next to me, not into it. They seemed grumpy. They didn't cheer. They didn't clap. They didn't clap. They didn't get into it. They were they were grumpy. Whereas
they had everybody, stand up and clap, and it was.
Yeah, the encore
really
finale was like everyone. The show was over. You were standing. You were applauding, and then they're like, "How about one more song?" And then they each recapped their song quickly as an encore, which was great. And and the band got to play a little something and got a applause, which is good because the band was good. Cool. And everyone on stage was female. There were no men in this at all. Every band, the electric guitarist, the bassist, the keyboard player, the drummer, because it was a rock band, all women, and they nailed it. Although
it was really good.
I was very amused that the keyboardist was like the matron of the group, because all the other girls are like, we're young and rockers, and the woman on the keyboard is like, oh yeah, I'm like classically trained.
She also, at the very beginning, when they introduced the band, she played a little bit that sounded like it was being played on the harpsichord.
Right, that was
awesome.
That was part of the I'm classically trained thing. And the opening number. So I went into this blind. I didn't know any of this stuff at all. Going in, I knew about the show. I've never heard the music, no nothing like that. So when we went in there, like the very opening number is a riff on Greensleeves, which was really kind of fun.
It really?
Yeah, it totally was. It totally was. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like electric guitar Greensleeves.
I actually knew the most of the songs. I didn't know any of the slow ones, but I listened to Pandora, and one of the stations that I listened to is Broadway musicals, and they on Pandora, if you don't pay for it, you're not allowed to choose an exact song.
Right.
You can only choose, like, you can choose a song and then it'll play songs like that. And so I've been hearing this, for like a year, these songs.
That's pretty funny.
And I knew most of them.
Well, and obviously everyone else in the theater did too, because like somebody would step forward and the crowd would go wild. So.
Yeah, they may have seen the show before, because I didn't know who was who.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know before watching it.
Sure. Anyway, It was very cool. Glad we went. Glad we were so tired yesterday that it was the perfect show to see because it was high energy and short.
Okay.
Yeah, the short
And
part was
it
really
was
pretty cool.
it was
Showing my age.
excellent and merciful at the same time. It was like we got out of there and went, oh, whew, okay.
Kelly, the Six is playing in Costa Mesa at the Segerstrom Center for the Arts, March 10th through 15th. So
There you go.
we have an opportunity.
You guys should
Okay.
you guys should get tickets.
Yeah.
Get a girl group together.
Yeah, my gosh.
So what else? Jeff, did you do anything else?
I guess just what happened at the house too was the same thing. It's the same kind of thing. It was Valentine's Day stuff, you know.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Spent time with the kids and such, and then and I can't find that I haven't got an answer back yet. But over the weekend, Abria and Sparrow made this cake that was made with cherries, and then the top of it had maraschino cherries on, every so often, like I want to say 8 of them or something around the edge,
Cool.
on the top, so special whipped cream frosting or whatever. So that was really good, and I wish I knew what it was called.
Was it like a German
Right.
chocolate cake or a Black Forest cake or something?
Was it a Kirschtorte?
Braunschlager Waschtort?
Yeah, man. No, it was not. It wasn't chocolate for sure. No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was. I think it was more of a like a white, off-white, color with the cherries in there and such. But yeah, and the frosting was white as well. So, if I hear back from him beforehand, I'll tell you.
Okay. Kelly asks what the food thing was called, and I have such a bad short-term memory that I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
The food app that I was talking about is called Too Good to Go. And, yeah, it's an app that you download on your phone.
Yeah.
So
Wait.
Shawn and I are going to share pictures of Hong Kong, right?
Right.
Okay.
And
Cool.
it took way too many of them, so we'll kind of blast through a lot of these things. But we spend so much time in airports, and we're used to Los Angeles International Airport. The airports that we went to for Philippines and Shanghai and Hong Kong
Okay.
were absolutely huge. And
Yeah.
they were also like super high tech, which was, I mean, they're trying to retrofit the ones here in the US, but it's weird seeing these airports that have no space limitations, and they're just massively huge. I mean, you can look at this picture and see the tiny little people down there. And you had
I see. Yeah.
you
Wow.
had to take trains to get to places and whatnot. If just like from one terminal to your baggage claim to what do you call it? Customs, immigration. It was kind of nuts. I wish I could have taken pictures during immigration because some of that
There
was
were a lot of signs that said you could not.
right, and but some of it was so interesting. Like scanning, they would scan my face and go, "Take off your mask." I'm like, "It's not a mask, it's beard." And then they're like, "Colleen, scan your fingerprints," and it wouldn't recognize her fingerprints at all. So if we take on a life of crime, Colleen is the one with no
I'm the
fingerprints.
one. Shawn had to I had to put my hand down and press as hard as I could, and then he had to put his hand over mine and press down
And jam it
as
down.
well.
Yeah.
Wow.
There were so many screens everywhere that it was nuts. Like there was this digital waterfall in the area that we were trying to figure out, where the heck we were going. So we came over here and started to regroup and connect to wireless and
Gotcha.
stuff and figure out the VPN on the phone and all of that.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
They had little Roombas zipping around, which was fun. But it was just absolutely huge airport.
So, and another reason we needed to regroup is that for Hong Kong, I decided that we would take public transport instead of hiring a car.
Right.
So, and this is a picture
Okay.
taken off of the train.
Yeah, so we got a pretty good view of the city as we zipped around, and of course some of it looked very much like home and whatnot. But
Okay.
you know, it was kind of fun. We did the train a lot and went.
And then
to,
this is this is the second train that we're on,
yeah.
and now we're in the. Is that the train station transferring to the Disney line?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. This is
Music.
Sunny Bay.
Right.
Okay.
And of course, you know, Disney's everywhere. Buy an annual pass, get our credit card, do whatever. And and some of these places are complicated. You got to like go up and over and go down and find the right train, make sure it's going the right direction. And we were very fortunate that when we first got here, we didn't have to deal with the crazy crowds that you hear about. That
We did later.
are nuts. and like by the time we finally got to the Disney train, there was no doubt that it was the Disney train. Like everything
Of course.
in here like identified itself as Disney. It had little stars on the ceiling. The grab handles had mouse ears on them.
Nice. Okay.
And we had like the train to ourselves, which was like really kind of nice too, because we got there kind of in the evening, which was not when anyone was coming or going to the park.
Yeah, it was like by the time we got to the hotel check-in, it was 6 o'clock in
Yeah.
the evening.
And of course they tried to this train was comfortable. Like all the other ones were like, stainless steel seats. This had velvet seats, it had the little Mickey shaped windows. And then when we got off at the station was all steampunk flavored, which
Yeah, it
was
was
kind of
really
cool.
cool.
And this one train only serves the Disney resort. It goes from the resort to the transit
Sunny
hub
Bay.
and back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's it. But yeah, this whole station, again, absolutely huge. We went up so many stairs this whole trip. It was like it was nuts. And but it was fun. I would like to know, and because we didn't do this when we were in Tokyo, I would like to see how close it was to the monorail that they have in Tokyo. If they just use
because
the
on the
same
outside
train,
it looks the
It
same.
looks very much the same. Yeah. And even this here, this is the elevator that we took up. The controls are a steampunk thing, and they've got extra rivets and stuff, and they sort of added that vibe. And we just popped right out into the Disneyland Resort, which was pretty great. And this was the whole station that we did.
Okay, I see.
So there's an interesting thing here, and I have to get rid of us. See if I can do that here. So if you look at the bottom, there are turnstiles, and there are purple ones, and there are blue ones. And the blue ones take credit cards and other things, and those are the ones you have to do if you're not using their pay app and whatnot. And so it was actually pretty easy to kind of get in and out.
And as a reminder, I have an Apple phone, and Shawn has
I have Android.
Android.
Yeah.
And so I was able to download Octopus for Tourists, which is the app that Octopus is the app that you can use to make these turnstiles work. But they only have it for Apple. They don't have it for any other phones. And so Shawn had to use credit card. And we also tried me handing him my phone.
A mess.
That doesn't work.
Yeah. This is kind of a lousy picture of the inside of our elevator. Also, we went to the Explorers Lodge, which is where we were staying on Disney property, which we didn't do in Shanghai. And all of that had a nice steampunk vibe to it also, which was really cool.
And it's hard to decide. I think I would do it the same way if I had to do it over again, because it was really neat having the local breakfast in Shanghai, which we didn't have access to in Hong Kong because we were staying on Disney property.
And we ate in there.
And it doesn't include the buffet.
Right.
And the buffet's very expensive.
Right. This was our room, which has kind of a tiki vibe to it. Most of the art kind of has like sort of an African feel.
So also, we reserved a room that was on the first or the second floor with no view.
No view and one bed.
Yeah, well, it was going to be a king-size bed, I think.
Yeah.
And when we checked in, they said, hey, we are unexpectedly busy. So we would like to upgrade you to the 8th floor where you can have an ocean view. But in order to do that, you have to take a handicapped room. And we're like, sure.
Darn. Right.
Twist.
Because apparently, like, people don't want the handicapped room. And it's in a tower. Like, I think all the accessibility rooms are in one tower. And it changes a bit of the elevator. So, like our elevator had loud beeping every time it got to the floor when the doors were open and all that kind of stuff to like tell people if you were blind or something if the doors were open and to get into the thing. And so there were some things that were a little goofy.
And the bathroom counters were really low.
Right. And the shower didn't have much of a lip on it so that you could kind of roll a wheelchair into it. It had a seat in it. So not much of an inconvenience for us. We didn't really care. And honestly, the room was pretty great.
And we're pretty short, so
Right.
lowered counters didn't bother us.
Yeah, and so this was our view out the window, which was absolutely crazy. The pool had been drained, unfortunately. That's the big white spot in the middle. But
at the pools everywhere in the resort, except there's an indoor pool at the Disneyland Hotel. That one wasn't drained, but all of the rest of the hotels were drained, and several other places that we saw in the city were also drained.
But we saw places that hadn't drained also.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so this whole resort is designed to look very small from the front, and then it gets bigger towards the back, and they've got like waterfalls and little nature hike things around there and whatnot. And it's pretty good, but the entire view out over the water, I mean, was pretty neat. And it's not like we spent a lot of time in the room or anything, but it was nice that they upgraded us to something like this.
It was beautiful to wake up to.
Yeah, it was actually pretty great. And like, so when the sun came up, it was pretty great. But yeah, some of the art was really funny. It's sort of like, tribal Mickey stuff with snakes on his head and stuff like that. And so we don't really stay on Disney property.
Jeff's camera went back to being local instead of being...
Still there.
Hang on. Let me find out why.
I will tell you about these coffee cups that are on the screen while Shawn fixes that. Oh, they're no longer on the screen.
They're on the screen. Go back. It's there.
So I fell in love with these coffee cups so much that I contacted housekeeping and bought them. And it was really funny because I wasn't quite sure who to talk to. And so I went down and checked in at the concierge. And there was a guy who was standing on the other side of this side of the concierge desk. And he clarified, because there are some little kid cups in there that I think people are more likely to buy. They're little, like, plastic with Mickey Mouse on them. And and the guy said, well, I'll go find out. And so he goes and he comes back and he says, well, they are for sale, but they're kind of expensive. And he says what the price is in Hong Kong dollars. And I don't remember what it was in Hong Kong dollars. But it amounted to about $5 a cup.
Okay.
Yeah, it was ridiculously cheap.
Yeah.
Which was really funny. Jeff's camera, got deleted somehow.
Oh.
So I'm trying...
That's terrible.
I'm trying...
For this part,
to get him back onto the...
So anyway, I bought these cups, and I thought I was going to have a couple of them for Shawn and I, and then give a couple to my mom. But when we got them home, I realized something that I hadn't realized in the hotel room, and that's that if you walk all the way across the house with it, which I do every morning, I go make my tea in the kitchen, and then I carry it across to the very farthest point opposite in the house, which is not that big of a house, but it's still, you walk. And when you hold it by the handle, it doesn't stay upright. It like slides down. And so you kind of have to use two hands to hold it. And if you've got really hot tea or coffee, I suppose, it's too hot to touch. So I can just barely juggle it. I think that my mom would have difficulty holding it. So I'm not going to give her those.
Oh, well.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Keepsake, though.
There he is.
Yeah, for some reason he got deleted.
Yeah.
Poor deleted Jeff.
No idea.
I had problems with the coffee maker. It was terrible. It's like it's a Nescafe or something, and it just like did not work for me. There's the nighttime view out the window just for giggles. And, of course, he's hidden steampunk Mickeys in the elevator, which were very cute. And we spent a lot of time at this train station, like in and out. And it was pretty huge. And it did eventually get crowded. We left the hotel the first night, and we went right to kind of go walk around and check some stuff out.
We went to Tongcheng.
Yeah.
Which was the Hong Kong is the Tongcheng line has Hong Kong at one end and Tongcheng on the other, and the Sunny Bay, which is the connector for Disneyland, is one station towards Hong Kong from Tongcheng, and Hong Kong and Tongcheng are the ends of the line. So it was a pretty easy thing to do, to go back and forth on this train. There wasn't there wasn't anything that was confusing at all, except that there are two trains that come into the station, and knowing which direction you're going is helpful. I kept getting it wrong.
Right. Oops.
But we realized before we ever got on going the wrong direction, so that's cool.
I got this was Sunny Bay, where we had to get off the Disney line and onto the next trains, and then we went to the mall, and I think we mentioned this before. We have spent more time on the mall,
so many malls,
than we did
There it goes.
like since the 80s, I think.
Yeah, everybody in Asian countries, well, the Asian countries that we were on this trip. So
Yeah.
Right.
China and Philippines. Everybody goes to the mall.
So
it is
bizarre.
a thing.
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. But it was festive and very cool. There were a lot of food related stuff.
That was an ice cream shop that we never actually ate in.
No,
Sadly.
we didn't. We just liked their display. Lots of like snack food ads and things taking up the courts. So it was weird, very surreal. This was a bottle that was, we didn't know these little Disney characters. It's like the baby oysters from something Disney.
Wow. Alice in Wonderland.
It was.
Jeff knew.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland.
This was a discount Disney shop that was in that mall.
Right.
In
Nice.
Tongcheng.
It was kind of nuts.
Which was hard to find because the mall had, I believe, 6 levels, and then there was an office building above it. And of those 6 levels, it's not level 1, level 2, level 3. It's like level 1, and then over here is level 2, and then over here is level 3. So they're kind of offset or off at an angle. You can go directly on an escalator from one to the other, but then the next one you might have to walk a bit and then take another escalator.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was crazy. Okay. And then, of course, I made Colleen go to McDonald's.
And then I found one of the 2 beverages that I fell in love with on the trip was
at
McDonald's.
A little more on that later, which is funny. These guys, this was the meal that Colleen found, which was the My Melody meal that had like its own little cakes and of course everything looks better in the picture than it really did in the meal. But we did get one, and because I have to go to McDonald's and try the McDonald's thing, and I don't remember what drink I got. it was something unusual, but I don't recall, because Colleen's was the standout, which
Oh
was,
my God, it was so good.
kind of nuts. And so, they went full in on the branding with little My Melody stuff, and we got a chicken burger with pineapple on it.
Chicken teriyaki.
I had a beef version of McRib, which wasn't bad, but the chicken and pineapple. Colleen really won this meal. The chicken and pineapple was great, and her drink was great. These were the little cakes that came. There was a strawberry one and a chocolate.
They were pies.
They're pies. They were fried, but I mean, one of them was like a charcoal briquette, kind of. It was like, it was just sort of okay. But yeah, so Colleen actually, we went back to McDonald's so Colleen could get that drink again.
It was so good. It was like a strawberry with fruit pieces in it thing.
And yogurt.
Okay.
Yogurt,
Yeah.
that's what it was. Yogurt.
Which was
so
cool.
good.
And so on this train, on the train cars, there's 2 trains that interchange, we discovered. And they have little statuary in there, the little characters. And so, in each section of the train, they have different characters in these little enclosures. And so, like, here's Mickey with the Mickey window and stuff like that. It was very festive, very comfortable, and often we had the train to ourselves, which was really kind of nuts.
Because we weren't traveling during rush hour, so.
But like here is us leaving the train. All of these people are leaving Disneyland.
And they trampled us trying to get onto the train.
It was nuts, yeah.
Until I was like yelling at people.
So this was where we found the crazy crowd.
Yeah.
And had the stereotypical Chinese experience of like no personal space. It was this.
I just looked up my beverage from McDonald's, and it was a strawberry and yogurt flavored soda with Sprite.
Right. The other thing we took was the shuttle bus. That was pretty good. It took us from that transport section back to our hotel, which was good. And these guys flew, man. They broke the speed limit in every way possible. They were so fast. This is the sunrise I told you about, which was pretty great for the room. It made it pretty easy to get up to go look at a sunrise like that. Although,
and it wasn't super early either.
No, it wasn't, which was pretty great. But it was nice to be able to look out over the water. One of the things that we got, which was pretty cool, was because we stayed on Disney property, they let us in early with our own entrance.
They didn't.
Well, not like early, like early entry.
It wasn't early entry. It was that the hotel guests got their own line, and there were so many fewer people in line for the hotel guests that you just flew through the line. There was 20 people in front of you instead of 300.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
So we ended up, we thought we would arrive at the park, like we got on the shuttle and we thought we would arrive at opening maybe, and we ended up in the park a half hour early. They opened all the gates a half hour early. The same that they do in Disneyland, where you can get onto Main Street and then they have it roped off. So they have a rope drop.
Yeah.
But what they don't do, similar to Disneyland, is that they have a second rope drop elsewhere in the park.
They have a staggered rope drop per land. So, they'll let you in, and you can go to Frozen Land, or you can go to Tomorrowland, but you can't go to...
You can't go to Toy Story, you can't go to Mystic Point, and you can't go to Grizzly Peaks until half an hour after everything else opens. So the park opens at 10, and then you can get into the other lands, those other 3 lands, at 10:30.
Yeah. These guys did have a train, which was missing from Shanghai for sure.
And I didn't get to ride on it twice, which made me sad.
Yeah, sorry. They shut it down early.
Yeah, it closes at 4 o'clock.
Was a bummer. You'll find a lot of trash can pictures in here because they finally got back to doing themed trash cans, unlike Shanghai. And of course, the Chinese New Year was creeping in. And the thing that's really interesting about Hong Kong is it is so much like Anaheim that you kind of know your way around. You're used to the shops and things, but they're also slightly off. Like the cinema is visible in here on the left-hand side. Not the cinema, it's a store. There's no cartoons showing. There's nothing like that.
It was confusing.
But they still have the big photo op at the front where we would normally do that in Anaheim. Their opera house had a little show or something. But so this is down Main Street towards the castle, and what would be like the Crystal Arcade for us is the carriage house on the left. The cinema it says like My Journeys with Duffy or something, and it's just a Duffy store.
Okay.
There's no vehicles on their Main Street.
Yeah, there were.
I mean, well, there's no trolley.
There's no.
There's
We
no
didn't see a
tracks.
trolley, but they had like they had a car, at
Yeah.
least one car.
But it's not as prevalent as they are in Anaheim for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But there was this weird Victorian shop that had kind of a steampunk vibe that looked so out of place on the street, which was really weird. And it's like in Disneyland, this would have been a side street, and like kind of over where Carnation Gardens is and their little restaurant area. They've got this store instead, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
There was a porch, which we got to sit on, of course, which was great. Except they've got a metal bench there instead of a wooden bench. All the furniture's wooden in Anaheim. But, we had to do the obligatory porch stuff. And the address is wrong. It's 320 there, where it's like 216 in Anaheim. Just like slight differences, which are really funny.
Okay.
The Penny Arcade is the Centennial Hall. And so it's kind of like being in an alternate universe, which is really made it kind of interesting. I mean, otherwise it's very similar, but it's just slightly off.
And because we didn't know, I mean, I knew that there were staggered openings for rides. Like, I knew that certain rides would open later, but I didn't know which ones they were. I didn't realize it was the whole land. And we wanted to go, our number one ride for this park was going to be Mystic Manor.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to go there first. But we didn't know about the 10:30 opening of the land, so we ended up standing at the rope drop for a half an hour waiting for it to drop.
Eating popcorn.
Yeah, eating popcorn.
And we got lost a little bit, because if you go to the right, you end up by the Jungle Cruise, and if you go to the left, you end up by Grizzly Gulch or whatever it is. Grizzly Mountain, which was kind of strange. This was closed. This was the Tarzan treehouse that they had.
The entire island was closed.
Right, you couldn't get to it. This was rope drop area, like all sorts of people waiting. And this is us like trying to get into, and all of these people were waiting to go on the Grizzly Mountain Railroad, which is their version of
or
Big
the
Thunder.
Slinky Dog. No, RC Racers.
RC
there was something
Racers.
in Toy Story Land that everybody wanted to go to as well.
Weird. Okay.
RC Racers, I think.
Right. So this is
the-
looking back. This line goes all the way down, all the way around, all the way back towards Main Street, and that was for
that was for Grizzly
that
Gulch.
was for the Grizzly Mountain
Oh, yeah.
Railroad, which is nuts.
Wow.
We
Okay.
blasted onto Mystic Manor, and it was so funny because there was some guy who was there, and he just could not shut up. He was so excited that nobody else was in line. He's like, everyone else are idiots. I can't believe they're idiots. Why didn't they come here first? They're going to Grizzly Gulch. They're stupid. It was the weirdest thing.
It was very odd.
Wow. Okay, then.
Some of the displays, like going through the whole Mystic Manor, were pretty good. I have a video I can put up later that was pretty fun, but it was charming. It had some neat special effects through the whole thing. It's part of the Society of Explorers and Adventures, the SEA group that Disney promotes. Very much liked the design. You sort of got on in the basement and that kind of thing, and whatnot. And the cars were very cool. They had little cars that you could buy of this, except they were blind boxed, and I'd have bought one if they weren't stupid blind boxed. But
I see.
It was nice that they kind of did these, and they were sort of staggered, so that even if you were sitting in the back, you could look over the people in front of you. Well designed cars. which were really good.
Huh.
And
Okay.
the I didn't take a lot of pictures inside the ride, but it was typical animatronic special effects extravaganza.
Very much like in Disney Sea.
Mm-hmm.
It was very much like a ride they have there.
Right, they had the Hightower Hotel, which was there's this like Tower of Terror, but it uses the same characters, which is interesting. They had a great model here of the
It's 8 o'clock, Sean.
of the layout of the ride, which was pretty cool. I'll jump in here, let you know that you're listening to sci-fi.radio, sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. You could be watching us on YouTube or Twitch or on Facebook. The show is DB94. I am Shawn Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is Jessel Donoho.
I'm calling Kaylee Crosby.
Kit Boba-Kit Sovine does all of our social media and stuff. So if you like the stuff she does over on the pages there, it's all her fault. And but we just like to say thanks to Kit.
Yep.
This whole model was actually kind of amazing. And this house isn't your typical haunted mansion, and it reminds me very much of a house up in Eureka, California. That's a gentleman's club. That is also purple and what it looks very much like this. I need to do a side-by-side comparison, but I'm sure they took some inspiration from it.
That's funny. I thought it was
Could
green.
be.
You thought it was what?
Green.
I don't think so. I think it's purple.
Right?
Anyway, lots of like museum quality, quote unquote, artifacts and things, and little explanation things for them. Grizzly Gulch was pretty terrific. Should we spoil the ride for them a little bit for Grizzly Gulch? Tell them why we liked it.
I mean, if anybody is going to go to Hong Kong in the next 6 months,
Right.
Plug your ears for
Right.
a minute.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we really, really liked it is because they changed up the ride in the middle where you start to go up you've gone up a hill and down through the ride, and you start to go up a second hill, and the train releases and you go backwards, which is pretty great. And then they move you over to a secondary track and they blast you through the rest of the ride. They like do a fast launch. It was unexpected and super, super fun.
Yeah.
This was a must-do ride.
And I don't like roller coasters, and it was okay. It was not, I mean, like, it didn't, I wasn't freaked out or angry.
Right.
When we were in Paris, I think, I was upset after I came off of Space Mountain.
Yeah.
Because it was so intense. This one I didn't have a problem with.
Right. This was the other ride everybody ran to, which was like Rex's RC Racers or something. It's basically a giant horseshoe that they roll you up and back. They had this in Shanghai also, and it was equally as popular in Shanghai.
Gotcha.
This was some of the food that they had. We got this jumbo sausage. It was like I don't know, pizza sausage or something. Cucumber and honey mustard sauce and dill pickles and a bunch of things like that. But next to it, in these little cups, are cakes.
You know, it's funny. I don't even remember those.
And so this cake looks like, that's what you get. It looks like Buzz Lightyear. It looks like the little alien. They're really cute little
We
cakes.
should have gotten one of those.
And I had thought about it, but I don't know why we didn't. I think because we were just sort of hungry. And there was a Lotso sort of bun. What does it say that
it was a waffle. That was what I got.
Yeah, with strawberry jam in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that wasn't what I got.
I think that's what it says. Let me zoom in. It says
The waffle that I got was stuffed with beef.
Beef, mushroom, cheddar, and strawberry jam
Yeah.
is what it says.
I didn't think Sean would like that because it had mushrooms.
No. So I got one of these. And she got one of these.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But poor Sean, his the hot dog rolled right off.
Oh, it exploded. It exploded.
Oh.
So one of the things that was very different between an American Disney park and the Chinese Disney park is that there were a lot of unfettered children And in this case, so like this little kid, you see him kind of up on the wing of this car where we were pretty sure he wasn't supposed to be. He was hanging off of the antenna. He was jumping up and down and causing trouble. And the parents, of course, were completely encouraging them. I have had kids in America do this kind of behavior to my own personal vehicle when I've had it on display. So it does happen. But it was kind of nuts. And we reported it to somebody, and they went, don't care. Okay.
Whatever.
But, you know, the sense of whimsy in Toy Story Land was really good. The toilets and stuff with the Scrabble letters and various seating that was done with dominoes and whatnot. I like that each one's slightly different than the other one. This one didn't have the big Big Al toy barn. But what they did have is they had some construction going on in a construction wall. And Disney often puts a picture of what they are building next to that sort of thing. And we found this picture, which says, "Greetings from New Stanton Beach." And of course, Toy Story, it's a Pixar thing. Andrew Stanton is a director for Pixar. So calling it Stanton Beach is kind of a nice little nod to him. And if they're building this sort of boardwalk area, could be pretty fun. So we'll have to see if that's really what they're building or if it's just a little nod or some sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. They didn't give any more information than that. But I have pictures later on of the construction showing you kind of what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, usual stuff. Dumbo was Dumbo. The castle was visible from every aspect of the park. The trash cans had their own, kind of personalities.
You know what was unusual about this park was that you could see mountains you could sit in the park and look up, and there were mountains behind the park.
Right, which was kind of neat.
Cool.
So these trash cans here, the normal sort of trash cans, this trash can here is a character. It's a walk-around character called Push. And Push, they used to have Push in the United States. I haven't seen him in a long time. Maybe he's in Florida, but he hasn't been in Anaheim in a long time. And so he had an escort. And so he would cruise around and interact with people. It was kind of fun. So I haven't seen him in a long time. And they, just like any other walk-around character, he had his people, which was cool. Yeah. And was that Aurora came over and hung out with him for a little while, which was very cute.
Oh, okay.
And played music, danced, did the usual kind of stuff. It was pretty fun. It was nice to kind of see him around.
Okay.
And I'm such a big trash can fan that, it made me happy.
Yeah.
So this is their Space Mountain.
Hyperspace Mountain.
Right, but
the French fry rocks on the side.
It used to be regular Space Mountain, and they still have their sort of side rocks and stuff there, and then eventually it has become permanently Hyperspace Mountain.
Okay,
which was pretty cool, and we got here just a little bit too late, where they used to have an X-wing out in front of it. They just got rid of the full-size X-wing.
Boo.
This is their Astro Orbiter, or rocket jets equivalent. It wasn't working the days we were there. It was down. But kind of fun. A little less steampunk than what we've got in Anaheim. But kind of nice nonetheless. This rocket, which was part of this cafe, which was kind of interesting. So you walked under it, and I kind of liked it because it reminds me of the rockets I used to see. There was a couple of books I used to have called the Terran Transit Authority, and it was all collected spaceship art from different artists that they had done for books and things. And this looks so much like it. It was just this weird, unexpected bit of my childhood just sort of showed up. It was really neat. Otherwise, it doesn't seem to be connected to anything else, really. And then, of course, the other part of this, if it wasn't, Space Mountain or whatever, it was all Marvel. So we had the Stark Expo with a Tony Stark ride. There was a S.H.I.E.L.D. ride that was like a shoot 'em up, like a Buzz Lightyear kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. And everything would switch between Chinese and English, and it kind of gave it a pretty cool future flair. But there was all this Tony Stark looking futuristic craziness. I don't think I liked Tomorrowland here as much as I did Shanghai.
Oh, not at all. This Tomorrowland felt disjointed.
Yeah. We did go do this ride. Which was pretty fun. This was the best view of Space Mountain to kind of get a feel for it. It seems small in comparison to our Space Mountain, but I'll tell you one thing.
And you can see the real mountains behind it.
You can see the real mountains back there.
Feels small.
But we so a really nice thing happened to us. We met a woman who had kind of stepped in for us as we were waiting to see the Lion King show. And she's like, oh, where are you from? Whatever. She wanted to talk. And we ended up sitting with her at the Lion King show, which was great.
Because she knew where to sit.
She knew where the best seats were.
Yeah.
The following day, when we went back for the second day, we went in line for Hyperspace Mountain. And she saw us. And she ran over. And she's like, oh, my God, I was hoping I'd run into you. And she gave us tickets to skip the line in Frozen. For the Frozen ride.
Oh, wow.
The line, which is usually 90 to 120 minutes, was really sweet. Super, super sweet. And it was just because we were there with at Space Mountain at the same time. We happened to run into each other. This is the Ant-Man and the Wasp ride. It's half in English, half in Chinese. And was pretty fun.
So there's no problem figuring out what's going on because they explain everything in English.
Right. And everything's got, the super usual high-tech thing. They've got the little guns that you're supposed to zap thing. And can I say that all of their shooting rides were so much better than the shooting rides we have in Anaheim because their targeting system works? I could see the dot. It worked. I scored, man. I did really well on all of these rides because I could see them.
That's clear. That's clearly because they use Stark technology.
Right.
So,
it's whatever it is. It was pretty great. So yeah, everything had a really great sort of Stark feel to it. You kind of bought it that it was real. The Tony Stark ride that we went on was like a Star Tours kind of a deal.
I did not like it
and so
at all.
They had these little vehicles that they were like, oh, look at the kind of vehicles that we use for work and sort of things. And then the last one that they show you, this one is the ride vehicle that you're actually on. And it's very much a Star Tours kind of ride that shakes you around and it's in 3D. And
for some reason, this particular ride had a lot of jerky, slam the brakes and go in reverse motion.
Yeah.
So my head kept hitting the headrest, and I had a headache by the time it was done. I really hated it.
But if you've ever been on Star Tours, you recognize this door. It's they're all the same. There was a Stan Lee cameo in the safety video, which was nice.
Oh, cool.
So, blink and you
nice.
miss him. Which was great. I thought that was cool. But anyway, the ride was okay. Star Tours is superior to it. But if that's what you got, that's what you got. And as you would expect, the castle was insanely photogenic. So.
Oh yeah, they apparently I thought this was the one that they actually went back and altered it so they'd have all the parapets of the princesses on it or something.
I think that's the one in Shanghai.
Or is that Shanghai?
I think it's Shanghai.
Eric probably know more than me, but in regards.
They did something different.
I believe this.
They did something different with with this one to represent all the princesses, but I'm pretty sure that it was Shanghai that's the one that got the 13 different princesses jammed together into
this
it.
one, right?
This one has a stage at the base of it, which is pretty interesting. Let me flip. So here's like their...
just to clarify, this castle, Hong Kong Disneyland's Castle of Magical Dreams, is unique as the first and only Disney castle to honor 13 plus princesses and queens through architecture,
So
paying tribute to their stories with specific colors, textures, and motifs.
Right. So Jeff is right, and I'm confused. So, so they did the Mickey Mouse and Duffy show at the bottom of
there you go.
of the castle, which was pretty fun.
That was actually called like Mickey's Magical Friends or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And it was pretty cool. They brought the princesses out. They did like a big cabaret number, which was kind of cool. And they didn't have all the Duffy's friends because I noticed like Olumel the turtle wasn't there.
That's our favorite character, so of course.
Right.
That's just quite yeah.
Right. But pretty fun. They had all of these guys doing their thing, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Over in their sort of Adventureland area, it had kind of like an Indiana Jonesy sort of vibe.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun.
Totally.
While we were in line for the Jungle Cruise, they had a whole bunch of their boats that were all listed in the order that they were sailing. And the yellow one here is the one that is the English ride. So if you want to take a Jungle Cruise ride in English, you can request that and wait in that line. And so we took, Congo Connie or whatever the boat was, which was kind of cool. And so this was our English speaking tour guide. And she was kind of funny because she had like an English thing going on where she's like, she spoke English and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't perfect. But anyway, it was what you would expect. Very much like Anaheim.
The stage show was Disney Friends Live Party at the Castle show.
Ah, okay.
Woo, party
Party at the castle. They didn't have the backside of water. They had flaming water instead, which was weird. They had a thing that was like spewing water and fire at the same time, which I think is something that we saw in Tokyo at one of the roller coasters that we were on. They had a bunch of steps that was doing exactly the same thing.
So two things. The first one, Eric says that that both castles are for the he says princes, but I think he means princesses.
Right.
And so I looked up Shanghai's, and it says the Enchanted Storybook Castle at Shanghai Disneyland is the largest, tallest, and most complex Disney castle ever built, serving as the first to represent all Disney princesses. So it's not just limited to 13.
Right.
And it's uniquely designed with Chinese cultural elements featuring a golden peony spire. And of course it has the boat ride in it.
Right.
And the second thing is that Dawn wants to know who Duffy is. Duffy is Mickey's teddy bear, and Duffy has lots of friends that are like kitties like kittens, and a turtle and a rabbit, and they are very, very popular in all of the international parks.
Right.
So the first time we encountered Duffy was in Paris, and we've only seen Duffy in the international parks.
Right. And so
like as a character, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so basically, if there was a Sanrio incarnation of Disney, that's what Duffy is.
Yes.
He's like Hello Kitty and Friends for Disney, where you have Mickey and Friends doing their normal thing, and then this is a completely separate set of characters that originated from Asia. Their Frontierland was really kind of interesting. They had lots of interactive water play areas and things, lots of geysers and such. This was the entrance to Big Grizzly Mountain, the line of which was pretty great. And and to the right was this Lucky Nugget snack place where we went to get some snacks.
And my number one snack at Disneyland Hong Kong was from this place. And in fact, I don't think we got anything else but the thing that I wanted there.
I don't think so
either. I don't
either.
think you got any snacks. And it's not showing here. I don't know whether Shawn took a picture of it or not, but I got a Hong Kong milk tea slush with sweet cream soft serve on top.
I don't think so. It was largely just like a drink.
You don't think so? What?
I don't think I took a picture of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
These were more little figural cakes, so you could get Chip or Dale. They came in a little like Chinese food bucket.
I went out of my way to look for these, and because I was considering buying them, but the price point compared with what the fillings were and how hungry we were, didn't make sense to buy it.
This was a weird abandoned Coca-Cola vending machine that had not Coca-Cola in it, but you can tell by the big swoop on top that it's like a Coke machine. And instead it had like these other fruit juices and stuff in there, which were like really bizarre. It was just about the only vending machine we saw on the whole trip, unlike Tokyo, which had lots of them. This was their photo op at the foot of Main Street. And their opera house said the art of animation, but I didn't see that it actually had an exhibit in there that you could go see when I took a look at it. So it's kind of weird. Let's see. Lots of merch at lots of stores. Backpacks are just as popular as ever. They had some kind of cool ones I hadn't seen in the U.S., which were fun. This was the Lion King show, which we saw from quote unquote the best seats in the theater, thanks to our new friend. This
is our new friend. I don't know if you can see that because I'm not.
Hang on. There we go. Yeah, there's our new friend. Hey. Anyway, she was sweet. Her husband and kid joined us, which was really great. And so this started as like kind of a small show with a couple of people, and then like giant floats came out and the floor rose and fell, and it was like the story of the Lion King. And so it was supposed to be like the celebration of the Lion King. And so of course Simba was there watching people talk about him. Slightly awkward.
Oh, okay.
But it was really great, and the the production value of the show was just like absolutely insane.
Yeah.
This is funny. I went through here and I deleted lots of pictures, and many of them did not delete. So yeah, it was a really good show with like a giant cast and bit of a parade as these little scenic things moved around. Lots of puppetry.
And at this point, it was nice to sit down.
Yeah, it was really good.
Because the reason
down.
why our new friend started talking to us was because we were kind of contemplating whether it was worth standing in line for this because our feet hurt.
Right.
And she said yes.
And she's like,
do
not miss this show. Yeah. And so it was pretty great. We were glad that we did come to see it. And of course, because we made a new friend, she helped us out with the Frozen thing later on.
Okay.
Which was pretty cool. They had little trash cans that you could buy in a blind box, and I got to tell you, the only one I wanted was the push can. I got one that was It's a Small World, which of course is not my favorite ride. And then I figured out that if you shake them, you can hear the one that is the push can, because it has a
motor.
It has a motor in it that rattles. And so that was my thinking. I'm like, if I hear a rattle, it's probably that. And I was right. It was good. They had blind box trash can pins. I'm so sick of blind box. I just hate them. Absolutely hate them. I want to buy what I want to buy. I don't want to get stuck with something I hate. So I skipped on a lot of this stuff. It was really a bummer.
Yeah.
There was a little storybook tour that you could take of dioramas and castles. This girl was dressed as Alice in front of us, which was pretty funny. And so, Rapunzel was there. They had Snow White and the dwarves.
So, yeah.
Beauty and the Beast. And all of these things would move. You could. Did you have to crank these?
Yeah.
You had to crank them, but
But everybody thought that you had to keep cranking. You really just had to crank it once.
Right. That's what Colleen figured out. So, anyway, this sort of was a walkthrough version of the Storybook Land that we have here in Anaheim. But
It was pretty neat.
Nicely done. I mean, we really did enjoy it. The biggest problem, I think, was everybody taking selfies with everything.
I gotcha.
And then this was a show that this was a show we didn't talk about very much when we talked about it in Shanghai. I think it was actually better here in Hong Kong. And if you look on the right side here, there's a stack of books, and there are some black books on either side of the stage, and they printed the dialogue in English up there so that you knew what was going on. They did not do that in Shanghai, but they did do it in Hong Kong, which was pretty great.
Gotcha.
And this was called Mickey and the Wondrous Book Show.
Yeah. Do you need some water or something? Are you
I got some.
okay?
Thank you.
And so Mickey and Goofy are talking books. There's like big giant books. It reminds me a lot of the old cartoons from the 1930s and 40s where they're like, books come to life kind of a deal. And that was kind of a neat thing. You can see the subtitles on the left in Chinese, which is kind of fun. And then
I see.
Olaf escapes from his frozen book, and Mickey and Goofy are trying to get him back into his book. And so this was an Olaf puppet. We didn't see the robot anywhere on our travels yet. He wasn't out quite yet. But this Olaf puppet's been around for a while. He's actually really cool. I've been tempted to create one just because he's so articulate and looks like he's so much fun. But anyway, there were these big book-shaped giant screens, which they did a lot of animation on and whatnot. Mickey gets sucked into the book at one point, and whatnot, and it was pretty great. And if you look closely, you can kind of see, Olaf's a puppet. He's got rods and things like that. But they did a pretty good job at hiding it. I mentioned it to Colleen during the show because they had a black background with a puppeteer in black hidden behind him, and if you looked really hard, you could see it. But they did a good job of hiding it. And then, of course, the main characters were lip syncing. They brought out Ariel, and she did a big, Ariel number, which was really cool. Then they brought out Rapunzel. She did a thing from her movie. Then they would duet, and then they would bring out Merida from Brave, and they did a thing together. They had a whole bunch of princesses like coming out of their books and doing little scenes together, singing songs and stuff. Pretty well done. The costumes were pretty great, and surprisingly, for an Asian park, a lot of their character actresses were Caucasian. So you don't always see that, but like if you look at something here, so this is Aladdin. The genie was Chinese. All of the dancers are Chinese, and so that was a thing they felt they could get away with. But here's Tiana, and Tiana, all of her dancers are Asian, and she's black, and so they stayed pretty true to the princesses as depicted in the movies, which was kind of a surprise because you can kind of get away with casting local actresses as the princesses. I don't think anybody's gonna give you too much trouble, but obviously, I mean, they worked pretty hard at it, and it was pretty great. All of these singers were amazing. They were all singing live, which was tremendous. And what was funny, so eventually they got to Frozen, and they got to Elsa singing Let It Go, of course. Not the showstopper. The showstopper was Tiana.
Wow.
That was like the big deal. So it was pretty funny. But The special effects were pretty amazing. This show was totally worth seeing. We got some pretty good seats for it, I thought, right off to the side, which was really good. And it's just, technologically speaking, and, the choreography was great, and the performers were very talented. I was impressed. I mean, it's a theme park show.
Yeah.
How great is it going to be? So that was good. This is what you see from the foot of the castle. This is the main stage that they do all their little performances off of. If you walk through the portcullis, there's no real drawbridge. There's just a stage, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see, Tomorrowland. So one of the things that the castle did that was really interesting is while we were waiting for the fireworks, they showed lots of different projections that represented the different princesses. And so every 5 minutes, they would show a new animation for a different princess, which was really kind of interesting. And it really changed the look of the castle pretty drastically. It gave you something to do while waiting for the fireworks to start, which were super cool. And, you kind of had to listen to the music and guess. Like, I think this is Beauty and the Beast. You had to kind of guess what princess it was. The projections came from really far back. This was the crowd waiting for the fireworks, by the way. And there's quite a bit of distance between the Main Street buildings and the castle. I was really impressed with the clarity of their projection from that far away. It was nuts. But, this was Rapunzel, I think. And her thing. And so you can kind of tell there's like usually one thing. And then one of the things that they had that we were looking forward to, and I think the real reason that we sat for the fireworks for this, they had drones. And we really wanted to see what the drones added to it. And I was disappointed.
Really that much.
I was disappointed in Shanghai because I felt there should have been more fireworks. China is known for inventing fireworks. I would expect more there. But, I mean, the drones were cute, but they only lasted about halfway into the show. So we got a Mickey, which was kind of neat. And then, they had some little steampunky Mickey clock thing that was, going on. Tinkerbell did some magic stuff. We had fairies fighting over the color of the castle, which was, cute. It's like no blue, no pink. They did that kind of thing. And then we eventually did get to some fireworks, but like Duffy took over for a little while. And depending on where you were sitting, so like if you were sitting dead onto the castle, I imagine these guys were on either side of the castle. And if you weren't, they were blocked by the castle.
Okay.
And then they had this gigantic 20th anniversary logo. And that was pretty much it for the drones.
I was really underwhelmed by the whole show. In fact, I didn't really enjoy the evening shows at either park that much because I felt like the music and the images were so disconnected from each other.
We mentioned this with Shanghai, and we'll mention it here again. One of the problems was they would play a piece of music and then show a lot of characters unrelated to that music. Whereas, like, we're used to shows in Anaheim where they'll play the Haunted Mansion music and show a bunch of Haunted Mansion related stuff, and then they'll move on to something else. Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
They didn't do that here, where they would play like a piece of Rapunzel music and they'd show something from Coco. And you're like, why? That's not connected. I don't understand.
Oh.
So it was kind of it was the Disney equivalent of them phoning it in for me.
Yeah.
Which was really a bummer.
And it also, there were plenty of places to view the shows from in both parks, as I recall. But the amount of crowding there was and the amount of people holding up their phones in front of you.
Yes.
So you couldn't see the show because all you can see is a sea of phones. It made it not worth it to me.
It was kind of a drag.
I mean, I would have been disappointed had I missed it, but if I were to go back again, I would easily skip it and do something else.
I think this is about where I reached the point where I didn't get through editing everything. Did you have anything you wanted to call out, Colleen?
What time have we got?
Oh, this was Hyperspace Mountain, which still had they still had.
So I want to
Pass.
call out our strategy for the second day. After we experienced the first day, and we knew that the 3 of the lands opened at 10:30. What we decided to do was not try to get there for rope drop. We were just going to take our time and get into the park.
Yeah.
We ended up getting into the park like right as they were dropping the rope, which was perfect. We went straight to Hyperspace Mountain, walked right on it. It had been closed the first day.
Yeah, it
So-
wasn't open the first day we were there, and I really wanted to ride it, even though it's just Space Mountain. I
Right.
wanted to see a dedicated Hyperspace Mountain, and it kicked our butt.
It was good.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was really well done. There was
was
so much Star Wars added to it. They really went nuts with it. It was absolutely terrific.
So we were able to ride on Hyperspace Mountain, and then we walked across the park to Fantasyland, grabbed a waffle as a snack, and then
Okay.
waited for.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
Here's the waffle that we grabbed as a snack,
Right.
and then we waited for the second rope drop at Toy Story Land. Walked through Toy Story Land and walked straight on to Mystic Manor again.
Right.
And then when we got off that, we were able to go right on to Grizzly Peak with I want to say a 30-minute wait.
Yeah, it was maybe only a half an hour.
Yeah.
It was really great. I just want to call this out because there is a portrait as part of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers of Danny Elfman in the line. And I just thought that was awesome. Just, because Danny Elfman.
Nice.
Let's see. Yeah, and there were so many different things to look at, little exhibits and things. We did make it over to Frozen Land, where we were going to use that the tickets that our friend gave us.
Yep.
Our plan for this second day, after we had done our first day, our plan was we wanted to get on Hyperspace Mountain. We wanted to do Mystic Manor one more time, and we wanted to do the Frozen rides.
Yeah.
And everything else was just gravy on top of that.
And so just check this out for a second. I've got lots of pictures here of Arendelle, but so this is your entrance to Arendelle, and they've got all these sort of frozen mountains and stuff, and the real mountains behind it.
Yeah.
It was really kind of cool seeing all these real mountains all over the place.
But look at that roller coaster that we're looking at. That's the Wandering Oaken's sleigh
sliding
ride.
sleds,
Sliding
or
sleds.
sliding sleighs, or something.
It looks like a regular roller coaster, and we thought it was going to be similar to
Big Thunder or something.
Big Thunder.
So what's funny? So here's a picture here, and you can see two separate loops of track. Just in the one picture. Sorry, let me get over to more. So like everywhere you looked around this ride, you saw cars going by, trains going by.
Oh.
The tracks were right there, and it looked like a pretty sizable coaster.
It was not.
It wasn't at all. And we saw so many trains going through. What we didn't realize is we were seeing one train go through on a 45-second ride. And 45 seconds is being generous.
And we stood in line for 70 minutes
Yeah.
to see this.
It was nuts.
And I'm not sure what I would have done if our friend hadn't given us the pass-through for
For Frozen.
Frozen, if we would have wanted to stand in line for it, because
Which
the last one was ridiculous.
it let us skip most of the line, basically, is what
Yeah.
it did. So we didn't see the whole queue or everything. But what's really interesting about this ride, about Wandering Oakens and Arendelle in general, they want to make everything look really cold. So they have dyed the water so that it is an icy blue, except where it puddles, in which case it looks like a tidy bowl toilet tablet has been thrown into the water, which is pretty funny. the line for Wandering Oakens was fine. It had some neat little in-jokes and stuff in there. It was kind of cute, gone to the sauna, be back soon. But, every time we saw a train go by, we're like, oh my gosh, this ride's going to be so great. And then it was just really not so great.
I mean, I'm sure it was okay, but it was really, really, really short.
Yeah. And if they told you that up front, you would have been fine. It's like Gadget's Go Coaster. You look at it and go, oh, that's short.
You can see that Gadget's Go Coaster is short. You couldn't see that this was short.
There were little animations here for Oaken at the in the sauna, which was fun. They did some kind of fun little animations and stuff with him there. And the ride was entertaining. There was like a workshop that's like, hey, here's how we made the ride, and that kind of thing. The design for the sleighs, and it was generally kind of cute. But I mean, the line took you so long that you were disappointed when you got out of the thing. I liked Arendelle on the whole. It was small, but didn't feel too small. And, if you're a Frozen fan, they had lots and lots of little in-jokes and things everywhere, and little things to sort of entertain you and whatnot.
And they had good stuff in the shops.
Yeah, you could mail something from Arendelle if you wanted to, and they would postmark it from Arendelle and send it on through the real post. I didn't have the bravery to send something from there to here. And trust that it would.
Actually, I've seen people who said they did it and they received it months later. But
Jesus,
right?
But it was super fun.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't have pictures of the ride on here because I think I shot video. So in some cases, I didn't take pictures of the ride simply because I wanted to enjoy the ride. And I hope you guys don't mind that because we'd never been on the ride. We didn't do the one in Florida, which has apparently now reset itself so that it is more like the one here in Hong Kong with new animatronics and things. They just did it in the past couple weeks. But since we had never been on the ride before, we thought that, I didn't take a ton of pictures on the ride. This is their Fantasyland, which reminds me very much of the old school Fantasyland in Anaheim and in Walt Disney World. A little less flat, maybe, but it still has that kind of circus fair kind of vibe to it. The back of the castle with Colleen, which looks a lot like the castle, the back of the castle in Hong Kong. We were both really impressed with the flowers that they had. That they had a lot of really nice real flowers. I think it was Shanghai that had a lot of silk flowers everywhere. I think this is where I ran out of editing. They had a lot of photo ops that were statues and things, which were kind of cool. And there were a lot of people who were trying to sell things, in the park. So, this guy was running around, and he got a little flack from cast members, but they didn't kick him out. But he's basically selling stuff. He's got all that stuff pinned to him, and a bag full of swag, and he will sell you these things. Which was really kind of weird. And he gave me stink eye for taking this picture, by the way. He's like, what are you doing? This was really very funny. I was waiting for Colleen, who was getting us food. But yeah, so I think that's the stink eye. He's like, what are you doing? But anyway, very festive. Small World was Small World, but and we didn't ride it because it was a little bit weird. There are no boats out in front.
Yeah, you have to go inside the building to see the boats.
All the boats are inside. Well, the loading is inside, which is weird. And so it looked like an even smaller Small World, which was
Tiny World.
Yeah, it's. Although
but we did eat an ice cream sundae sitting outside of it.
We did. I have a picture of that somewhere.
Which we
Here we go.
Probably shouldn't have.
No, yeah, but ice cream sundae. It was huge. It was absolutely huge.
The description that we had of this was that it was like a Choco Taco, and it was nothing like a Choco Taco.
It had
at all.
nothing related to a Choco Taco. at all. This was the construction over by Toy Story Land. They were, I don't know, bringing in supplies or putting in an AC unit or doing something. There were a bunch of guys up there doing whatever. And this is the thing that I think is that Stanton beach or whatever it was kind of interesting.
Gotcha.
Toy Story Land had a lot of neat nods to, our various childhood things. I love that they had this case, this Hot Wheels case. If you're of a certain age, you had your Hot Wheels in a case like this. Were pretty great. Definitely put some interesting thought in. But I also kind of wonder how many of these toy things that they put in here are familiar to Chinese audiences, because a lot of this stuff is like really American. So kind of wacky. And I got to tell you, I loved Mystic Manor, the design of it, just so much. It was just so great. Just really cool Victorian vibe to it. Disney sure knows how to make photogenic buildings, for sure, which is great. Grizzly Mountain couldn't make up its mind whether it was Runaway Mine Car or Runaway Mine Car, which I thought was really funny. And I don't see it here, but a lot of the signs that we encountered in Shanghai said that you must be sober to ride. I didn't see so many of those in Hong Kong. But I thought it was really interesting that they made that distinction. And if you look to the left, you can kind of see that the mountain looks like a grizzly bear. I have better pictures of it elsewhere, I think. And Gary the snake was everywhere. From Zootopia, too. We saw a show for Moana, which I thought was pretty good. Singers were good.
Okay.
It was cute, but we had to stand up the whole time.
Yes, and
there weren't
that
enough
was a
seats.
problem. And I felt like they treated Moana as a little too dippy. There were puppets. There was a Hey Hey puppet, which I thought was actually kind of rad. So there was a guy running around doing Hey Hey, the chicken, as a puppet, which was really cool. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I know Moana's supposed to be like a teenager, and she's supposed to be like engaging with the kids. But there was a lot of hey, maybe I could do X thing, but it was aimed at a younger age than we were. But there were a lot of adults in the audience, and we were standing next to a bunch of guys who were like on a business trip, which was
Moana the Explorer.
right. It's funny. We waited for a parade. Colleen found us pretty decent seats for a parade.
Shawn ran into somebody he knew.
I did.
Well, of course.
What was his name? like someone from here. It was so bizarre. Yeah, he stopped me and but I can't think of his name right now. I'm totally blanking. But it was, and thank God he saw me. I would not have seen him across the way, but he saw me. He was there with his wife. He was doing he was going to Hong Kong, then he was going to Shanghai, which was crazy. I have a bajillion parade pictures here that are unedited. But, usual Disney parade kind of deal.
I think that I wasn't enthralled with this parade either. I thought that the Christmas parade at Disneyland, even though I've seen it a billion times, is better.
Yes. I mean, the musicians were good and the characters were
it was
fun.
okay. It just, I spent a lot of time comparing, since we've been to so many of the different parks, comparing the different parks.
Right.
And
they had a pretty good, Zootopia thing going on, which was fun.
also, I didn't realize which direction the parade was coming from, and we were at an odd angle to it.
Right. Which would have been fine had we had the app from Shanghai.
Yeah, we would have known.
Which told us what direction that was. I don't want to make you watch all the parade pictures.
And I'm trying to think of if we ended up doing anything after the parade. I think we left fairly early the second day, I don't know, 6 o'clock maybe? 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
We basically did a greatest hits of walking through the park, and I took lots of pictures of things. There was a little section by Mystic Point which was supposed to be the Garden of Wonders, and it was like a garden of optical illusions, which I don't think they did as well as the stuff in DCA over by Marvel. Like they had this, which was like if you shot it from a certain angle, it looked like a good mosaic, and you were supposed to like stand on the little pedestal things, but it didn't really
And
work.
you
Oh,
can
I
see
see.
my feet.
You
I'm
could see
standing on one of
Colleen's
the
feet,
pedestal-
yeah.
pedestals.
Yeah.
But it didn't work like the way that one where you're falling into the
Yeah.
Right. This
the
floor.
smash.
this was a thing of 3 different statues that line up when you look through a little hole, and otherwise they're like not that impressive. You're just like, okay. So these 3 make one statue when you look at them. The same with this. It's 3 different panels that line up to make one image. And again, it felt
I
like
see.
it felt like they phoned it in.
Right.
Okay.
It was just like kind of half-assed sort of deal. And you know, you could stick your head in Zeus or whatever the heck is going on there. It's Gary the Snake again. Not really. So yeah, we just spent the last day kind of running around getting pickup shots of stuff, things that we mentioned, signage and different lands and things. We watched how the
choking again.
we watched how the Grizzly Mountain ride worked.
In both parks, we did much more the first day. Like we did 2 or 3 more attractions the first day than we did the second day.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I think that if you had to plan the absolute minimum for these parks, I would say that each of them, Shanghai and Hong Kong, really need a day and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 days is good, I think, because what you really want to do is have a relaxing second day.
And the caveat is that that's what works for us. I have noted, because I'm on these chat groups that talk about planning your trip to Hong Kong and to Shanghai, and a lot of the people are doing character meets and sit-down meals.
Right.
We don't do either of those things. So that right there that's on the, I think is on the screen right now,
It is,
Korean squid, which was basically fish jerky.
Yeah.
And I had to eat it all by myself because Shawn declined to have any of it. But I really wanted to try
I could not handle the smell of it.
It was very strong.
And when you walked within 100 yards of the cart, oh my God. It was just ugh.
It was very strong. But it was good. I enjoyed it. We did eat a little bit too much, and we had a lot of the problem. I think it would have been nice if I had done a little more research on the sit-down restaurants, because having a sit-down meal the second day would have been nice.
Yeah, we could have done that.
Yeah. And then by the time we did get to dinner, we were hangry and ended up eating whatever crap we could get our hands on because we were starving.
Right.
Gotcha.
There were Marvel burgers. You could get Spider-Man or Hulk or Iron Man or whatever. Groot. There was a plant-based Groot burger, I think, which was pretty funny.
There we go.
It seems like cannibalism, but okay, whatever. But yeah, that was kind of cool.
Live greedy.
I thought it was really interesting that they showed you all the food that you could get.
Yeah.
And yet, I can't remember if both parks had this problem, but one of the parks, the only information I could get, even from the Disneyland website, I could download a menu that was in a Chinese language only. It wasn't an English translation. And also, it wasn't the complete menu. It was like a sample. So it was difficult to figure out what was where food-wise.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I have videos that I didn't take, which is interesting. I think my camera just decided to take random videos. So if you hear that loud noise, sorry, that means I flipped past a video that wasn't a video I actually shot on purpose. Yeah. Anyway, we spent a
Oh.
pretty good time kind of whipping around and taking neat pictures. And this is that grizzly bear mountain, which I think looks more like a bear in the evening when they've got proper lighting on it.
And also, I think
Little
souvenir
Grizzly Peak.
hunting was kind of a challenge.
Yeah, we tried to get people some stuff, and it was tough. It was
Yeah.
really tough. And then I
can
went
see.
down at one point to our hotel lobby. I think this is when we just came in. But I actually went down to our hotel lobby and took pictures at like 2 in the morning because nobody was there. It was really funny.
We didn't talk about going into Hong Kong.
I
for the
know.
next 2
We've
days.
we've got like 2 days of going into Hong Kong we haven't even talked about.
Well, we didn't. I don't think on the show we really
Yep.
talked about Manila either, right? This is just our second.
No, we
show?
didn't really.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were birds inside the hotel, like living inside the hotel. It was really funny.
I
They had
bet.
really tall doors to the restaurants, and so the birds would come in and hang out, hoping people would drop their waffles.
Right. This is where we ate breakfast, and you had to be careful because the birds would poop on you while you were eating breakfast.
Oh, how nice.
This is essentially breakfast, which was, not bad. Tiny Mickey waffles and some yogurt. And
Yeah.
Don't be mistaken. This was actually a really filling breakfast.
oh, it was great. Yeah, no, I don't want to
we
get the
would
impression
eat
it wasn't.
this breakfast, and we weren't hungry for lunch until like 3 o'clock, and we didn't. On the days that we went into the park, we didn't have this breakfast, but we had this breakfast the days we
Went
didn't-
into town.
when we went into town.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the days that we went into the park, we had gone to Tung Chung to the mall, and there was a bakery there, and we had picked up baked goods so that we could just have a cup of tea and a pastry and then go into the park. That's why we were, on both days, we were snacking fairly shortly after getting there because we had just eaten a pastry for breakfast.
Right.
Yep.
And these are all the many desserts that we didn't get that I'm sad that we didn't try more of.
Right. Some of them were pretty cool. A little sort of like traveling suitcase full of berries and
These were full-on
Okay.
cakes, though,
Yeah,
that we're
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at right now.
Okay.
Yeah, the Pooh Bear was really cute. And
Neat.
Roselle, I think you missed last week where I was talking about in Shanghai. I tried to get a dish that was a fried rice dish that had a Winnie the Pooh boiled egg. His face was actually an impression into the boiled egg.
much like that jelly
But
that we
I
just saw.
couldn't get it because they couldn't guarantee that I wouldn't be allergic to it.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Anyway, it was fun. I liked our hotel. I think it was neat to stay on Disney property, and it was nice that it was like really affordable.
Yeah. It was, so the Disney, staying at this hotel, or we could have stayed at the Hollywood Hotel, but it seemed weird because we live so close to Hollywood. It was about the same price, and it was also the same price as the original hotel that we had booked in, which was
Off-site.
it was off-site and included breakfast. So
Oh.
we had the choice of off-site hotel including breakfast buffet or staying in the resort, no breakfast, and we decided to stay in the resort.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we
Okay.
did too.
Me too. It's pretty good.
But we couldn't Shanghai, the hotels there that were on property were too expensive for us to stay at.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
These statues were on the train.
Right, they were. And I bought a little key ring that looked like the hang handles on the train, which was fun. And
Oh, nice.
I really did
Okay.
enjoy being on this train. It was kind of fun, and it was so comfortable compared to every other train we were on. It had nice, cushy, velvety thing, and not crowded. And God, it was great.
Although I assume that if you were leaving the park at the same time as everybody else and traveling on this train, that it was not as comfortable.
Right, it
Because
would
it was
be.
more crowded.
It would be a big
What is
mess.
this?
This
Oh, is that when we were on the train by ourselves and you went up to the front? or
Yeah, I went
something?
up to the front. I
Oh.
took a picture of the control unit, the whole deal. That's
That's
when we
funny.
realized that there were two trains.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
yeah, this was when we were like headed into town, going
Into
into
Hong Kong.
and whatnot, which is going to have to wait for another day or I mean, mostly I wanted to cover the Disney stuff because, of course, that's what our shows generally are about. But
That's a really fun picture.
I took a whole bunch of them just to kind of see, if they would come out or not. Too many of them, though. But there was so much about being in Hong Kong and Shanghai that was very much like the future, which was really cool. It's like old school and modern technology kind of mixed together, and I really did like being there. And I love design. I love architecture and futurism and things like that. So for me, it was absolutely nuts. We got to see so many different buildings and stuff.
Not to interrupt, but we're at 9 o'clock.
I know, we're at the top of the hour. I guess we should call it. But
I'm calling Kaylee Crosby.
This is Jeff Donoho.
I am Shawn Obi-Shawn Crosby. Thank you guys for basically watching our vacation slides. Next week should be business as usual, unless we decide to talk about Hong Kong. I want to thank Kit for all the hard work that she does, which is absolutely amazing because we don't have to do it. I cannot state how grateful we are for that. She also does our DB94 Facebook page, where I encourage you to go and become a member of. She's got all sorts of funnies and news stories and things up there like that, which are great. You have been listening to Sci-Fi Radio, where I do the morning show on the station at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. You can come join me Monday through Friday, which is terrific. And, of course, this show will always be there at 7 p.m. Pacific or 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And go check out the schedule for the station and see what's going on. And if you have watched us on Facebook or Twitch or YouTube, if there's a way to like or subscribe or anything like that, please do that. Let us know that you were there. To all the folks who have been hanging out on the chat, you guys are superstars. We always appreciate your input and your questions and even your corrections. And beyond that, we will see all y'all next week.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
May the force be with you.
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. We just kind of ran out of steam, I guess. All right, guys. For you over on the video side of things, we'll give you some credits. We'll see you later.